Good afternoon. HUD. You haven't answered my letters. You haven't answered my emails. You haven't resolved what I am asking you to resolve, to bring a solution. In January, Social Security is going to give us 2.5% of raise. This will affect me and others like me. And it's affecting me because you haven't done what I have been asking for. You see, I'm going to be living in this program, rental assistance, for almost 15 years. You are not supposed to raise my quote-unquote rent because I have more income, because I'm not new in the program. And I have the proof. The first 2 years that I lived in Jardines de Mayagüez, and you know all what had happened, because I told not only you, everybody up there, the first 2 years, my income affected and raised my quote-unquote rent. After 2 years, doesn't matter what income that I have or had, it did not affect my quote-unquote rent. It stayed the same for almost 11 years. Then I moved over here, and the next year, my quote-unquote rent raised. The other next year, my quote-unquote rent raised. The next year, my quote-unquote rent raised because the Social Security income. But why? Those letters that you haven't answered, by the way, certified letters, is explaining the same thing. So I want you to return my paid quote unquote rent because I'm not supposed to pay that amount. Again, you can look in the system, in the papers, whatever you want. I am doing this because in January it's going to be the same thing. And I cannot keep taking money from my pockets to pay a rent with raise that I'm not supposed to be paying. So I want my money returned. I want the rent that I was paying for almost 11 years when I was living in Jardines. By the way, you have a Dunn's number, Dunn and Bradstreet. You see? You don't have constitutional powers. You don't have jurisdiction. You don't have legal standing. But I am doing this because I don't like to harm the corporation. Like I have been saying a lot of times. So you do whatever you have to do. I'm not going to pay what you say that I have to pay. I'm not going to do it. You see, and if you don't do nothing, it will bring again the problem when I was living over there. And you all know it. You have all the information. But like I said before, and I have been saying to the Trust Fund of Puerto Rico 1953 and to the corporation of 1871, this time it's not going to be the same. This time is going to be different. Because again, no jurisdiction, no constitutional power, no legal standing. In fact, I don't have to pay rent. It all comes from my trust fund. It's my money. And the trust fund or Social Security Fund, Social Security Trust. And I could keep going on and on. Well, I don't have to say it because you see everything that I expose and publish. Notice that I said that I want the rent, quote unquote rent, that I was paying when I was in Jardines de Mayagüez. 8, 9, 10, 11, almost 11 years. Without raise in the rent, quote unquote rent. Because I don't want to harm the corporation. And I have to use this way because I cannot trust the USPS. I cannot trust the courts. I cannot trust nobody. This is a abuse of power. Power that you don't have. All of you don't have. So, that's what I want. And I want a signed, certified, with seal letter that granting or guarantee what I have been saying. And send the letter to the owner of the apartment that I'm living. Send an original one to them and send an original one to me. If you don't do it, again, it's going to be different. This time it's not going to be the same. All of you working in conjunction with a trust fund of Puerto Rico will not be able to violate my rights, to crush me like you did before. All of you. I'm including all of you. That's why I have the date in the description. So thank you. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. And I'll be waiting a short period of time. Thank you and have a nice day.